carpet is rolled out and the celebrities are about to walk in for the film Stuber. We are here at the Paramount Theater in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest.
Situation at West Ham Stadium.
Thank you very much. This is excellent.
So how was it working with Kumail and Dave?
The best. Working with Kumail and Dave is awesome. Dave is one of the smartest, funniest, most thoughtful guys. And same with Kumail. It's just a good they're both good human beings, but beyond that, man, are they funny. Kumail is one of the funniest people on the planet. And people are going to be surprised how funny Dave is.
So we might just have a winning duo next year, right?
Yeah, let's hope so. I think so. I like it. I love them. I think they're great together.
Tell us about the film, and I love the name. Stu is your name in the film,
Yeah.
and Uber, Stuber.
Right.
It took me a few seconds to figure out the
I
name.
know.
So how was the filming of this film in the car? And this is technically your first film that's not your story.
Yeah, well, I've done small parts in other films, but this is the second film that I've ever done that I've been a big part of, and the first film that's not my story. It was really, really fun to do, you know. First of all, it was a bigger production than our movie. Our movie was very small. It was very quick. We didn't have money. With this one, you know, there was more time to try stuff, so that was exciting. And there's a lot more action scenes. You know, I'd never been in one action scene. In this movie, I'm in like 10 action scenes. So all that stuff was really, really fun to do. And, you know, doing The Big Sick, because it was our story and we wrote it, it was our first thing, didn't really know what we were doing. Really fun but stressful, but this was just really a lot of fun, you know, because everyone we were surrounded by was so good at what they do, and I really trusted them. So I just had a blast doing this movie.
So how was your chemistry with Dave? You're both different characters. He's detective, you are this Buddhist, yogic kind of character who could have let the ride go, but you didn't.
Right, the biggest mistake of my life. Listen, I hope the chemistry comes across on screen, because I really love the guy. I fell in love with him. We had a great time working together. You know, doing the scenes with him was so much fun, and he just is such a smart guy who's really so good at so many different kinds of things. He's great at comedy, he's great at action, he's great at drama, at emotion. So I hope it comes across on screen, but I mean, he's truly one of my favorite people in the world.
It surely will be. You will be the next Hot Wheel. So tell us a little bit about some behind the scenes things that happen, something funny that nobody knows.
Oh my God! So there's a scene in the movie where we have dog food in our hair, and they put actual dog food in our hair, and it was very uncomfortable. I had to have dog food in my hair for 4 days, and it starts to smell after a while.
You wear so many hats and you're doing so many things all the time. But what's your thing? What's you really like and enjoy? And how do you describe yourself in one word?
My superpower, if you will, is storytelling. I love taking really complex ideas and making it understandable to everybody, like having a cocktail conversation like this. You can talk about really dynamic, hard to understand things, but in very casual conversation. That's my favorite thing to do.
Wow. So you are director PR for Newseum. It's not a small thing. What are your goals for Newseum? Where do you want the Newseum to reach? And what kind of feedback do you receive? I mean, I can tell you enough things from my side, how much we enjoyed it. My daughter loves it. She still talks about it. It's been almost 2 years. But yeah, share with our audience more about Newseum from your side.
So the Newseum is a gallery in Washington, D.C. that has 15 galleries and 15 theaters. So there is a lot to see. It's almost like you can't possibly see it all. But what I think the really special thing about the Newseum is that we have these experts with this deep content and this deep understanding of the First Amendment and all the things that it involves. And I think that that's where our real our treasure is in our people. They're the ones who are making these great galleries for people to come and visit. And I like getting their stories out the most. I like getting our First Amendment experts to go out, talk about why it's important for us to utilize our muscles and really use the First Amendment. Otherwise, those muscles will atrophy. We'll get lazy and we won't use it, and then somebody will take it away and it'll be too late.
So I'm with Avni Singh. Yes, she's only 18 and she was on a panel and had a talk as well at South by Southwest. So Avni, tell me about your app and what did you talk about?
Yeah, so I talked about my company Girl Alliance, and our whole mission is to empower teen girls to confidently recognize and handle sexual harassment. And so what I was talking about during my panel and talk was really what we're doing to give girls those tools to identify harassment and to reject it confidently.
So what are those tools? What do they do about it?
Yeah, so the first tool we made is called Crush or Creep, and it's a guide to sexual harassment. So it has information about what comments or behaviors might be fun and friendly and flirty and acceptable, and what might be veering into uncomfortable categories or creepy, and just kind of identifying what's okay and what's not okay. And then that's what this app that we're trying to build is all about, is helping girls find that boundary and draw those lines.
That's awesome. So what inspired you to create this app? Did you see your friends or school peeps going through something bad that inspired you?
Yeah, so I came from a really small all-girls elementary and middle school, and so when I came to a big co-ed public high school, that was a really big shift for me, and I realized that the dating culture was not as healthy as I expected it to be, and there was a lot of normalization of sexual harassment being perceived as flirting or normal when it should not be. And so a lot of my friends kept telling me these stories of guys who they liked and had crushes on, and would ask them to send nudes or do all this, bad stuff that was not what flirting should look like, and there was a lot of bad stories that went into that, and so I really just wanted to give them the tools and the confidence to be able to look for those healthy relationships out there.
That is so cool. I think it's awesome that you actually reflected on it and wanted to do something about it rather than just sitting, because this is life-changing for people. Something like that happens in teens, and it's so nice that at this age you have the maturity and the wisdom to actually do something about it and make a difference. So thank you.
Thank you
and
so much.
And good luck with your app.
Thank you so much.
I have Priya with me, a beauty editor of Glossy and DigiDay. So Priya, thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope you're enjoying your stay at South by Southwest. So you are a writer, editor, publisher, creative person. And what industries do you really enjoy writing, and what all do you write about? Just tell our viewers about yourself.
Sure. So at Glossy and DigiDay, I am the beauty editor there. So I really cover the beauty industry as well as the wellness industry and how those two categories are kind of commingling. I also really cover brands that have a lifestyles perspective. So we're seeing a lot of brands these days, whether they're fashion companies or shoe companies, and they're really kind of melding the lines of what that really means. So they may be selling, coffee in their stores, or they may be selling having panels and podcast events. So it really is this idea of brands that encapsulate, more than just one thing.
So that sounds really interesting, but what part of the job is most fulfilling for you?
Oh, well, that's a hard question, Seema. You know, I am a writer and an editor by trade, so I love interviewing and reporting and writing about people. But at the same time, like most recently, I've started a podcast for Glossy. It's called the Glossy Beauty Podcast. And every week I interview a founder or a CEO about like the way that they started their company. So that's really been an exciting new medium for me. And it's another way of being able to share people's stories and report and interview people.
So how did you get into this industry? Did you always want to be a writer in this, or life just led you this way?
Well, that's an interesting question as well. You know, my mother is I'm an English professor, so I think writing and reading was always something that was very important to me. But I actually went to the University of Texas at Austin, and I was a finance major, and then added English literature as a second major, and then moved into the magazine industry shortly thereafter college. So it wasn't exactly a linear path, but I think if I really think about it, you know, I always knew that writing was something that I enjoyed, even as a child.
How long have we got? 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
To those who are enthralled by mountains, their wonder is beyond all dispute. To those who are not, their allure is a kind of madness. What is this strange force that draws us upwards? This siren song of the summit. Mountains are so much more than a challenge or an adversary to be overcome. At height, you can be taken right to the brink. You never feel so alive, knowing that at any minute, you could die.
Oh, God, take me home.
The mountains we climb are not made only of rock and ice, but also of dreams and desire.
How far along are you?
A day.
I've changed a lot this summer. My priorities are different.
Felt so good.
Did you pull out? I'm sure everything's fine.
This is triage, Haley. Priority 1 is keeping this quiet. Priority 2 is my general overall well-being.
How about we just slap you on the kitchen counter and aim you at the Vitamix? Okay. This is why you use a condom. Oh, this is so not why you use a condom.
I started working like 3 years back, patenting this technology under social referral incentive mechanism. This is one involved. What exactly it does is like a cultural fit and a personality fit. That's the main focus. And if the hiring predictor helps the hiring leader from the beginning to the end. What is the match? What is the percentage of match of the job fit, and as well as what is the percentage of match of the cultural fit and personality fit? That's where hiring leader can make a right decision. Same time, job seeker also will get, hey, you have a 72% and you did not update the resume. It's like when you go drive the Tesla tells me, hey, 5 miles away from so and so. So that's exactly artificial intelligence using that in the hiring place. We wanted to use it. It has a social referral incentives and a video sizzling, and as well as a Uberization model. That's where change the game. That's Usha. We've been selected by Department of Defense and FBI, and they also endorsed from 7 companies from Texas. We've been shortlisted. Now here we are at the South by Southwest, and extremely good. And Amazon came and SAP came. They're all showing a much interest on this.
My name is Usha Bodapu. I am the Chief Artificial Intelligence Architect for this product. And this product is going to serve this country for transitioning the service-disabled veteran-owned women, as well as the service-disabled veteran-owned military transitioning into the jobs. And we have presented this product before Department of Defense, and this product has been selected from the whole entire Texas, representing the National Kansas SPDC. Last October 2018, we were presented in Encounter and Vision, and we've got great feedback from FBI and Homeland Security. So we are pre-launching this product today in South by Southwest 2019, and we are very happy that we are going to be a great impact on economic development to this country.
So Jennifer, Lush Labs looks fantastic. Me and my daughter, we are very fond of Lush products. We're always buying things, and of course this concept stood out. So what was the idea behind this retail shop?
So this is our Lush Labs. What it is, it's a replication of one of our Japan shops in Harajuku. So when you walk in, it looks exactly like this. It's just solely bath bombs, and we've created some technology that will recognize the products with no packaging. So you can identify the product using your app called Lush Lens, and it will tell you the price, it will show you the ingredients, and tell you a little bit more about the product.